You're 11 years old. You're sitting on the carpet, Game Boy warm in your hands, and a man in a lab coat is asking you to choose. 3 Pokeballs, 1 decision. And somehow, your thumb keeps drifting to the one on the right, the little orange lizard with the flame on its tail. This is my interpretation, built from publicly available information about a game that quietly rewired an entire generation's brain. And I want to know why so many of you picked him, because the answer changes how you see every choice you've ever made in a video game. Let's go back. February 27, 1996, Japan. A game called Pocket Monsters Red and Green launches on the Nintendo Game Boy. The Game Boy is 7 years old at this point, model DMG01, a monochrome green dot matrix screen, no backlight, no color. You played it under a lamp, tilted just right, squinting, and on that tiny green screen, Professor Oak offered you 3 creatures: Bulbasaur, Charmander, Squirtle, a grass dinosaur with a plant on its back, a turtle, and a lizard with fire on its tail. 3 options, statistically balanced, designed by a team led by an artist named Ken Sugimori, who shaped the look of all 151 original Pokémon. But here's what's strange. The choice was never balanced, not really, because if you ask almost anyone who played that game, they'll tell you the same thing. They picked Charmander. So what was going on? Start with the obvious. He looks cool. He's a tiny orange dragon thing with a fire on its tail. To an 11-year-old, that is not a Pokémon, that is a personality. Bulbasaur looks like homework, Squirtle looks like a friend, Charmander looks like a decision. But here's the part nobody talks about. The game punishes you for picking him. The first gym in Pokémon Red and Blue is a rock-type gym. Rock resists fire. The second gym is water. Water beats fire. For the first 10 hours of the game, the world is actively designed to make your little orange lizard struggle. Bulbasaur clears the first 2 gyms in his sleep. Squirtle handles the first one without breaking a sweat. Charmander has to claw through both of them while you sit there, sweating, wondering if you made a terrible mistake, and you did it anyway, millions of you. Why? Because of the tail. Read the Pokédex entry. The flame on the tip of Charmander's tail isn't decoration, it's his life force. It reflects his mood. It burns brighter when he's happy. It flickers low when he's sick. And if that flame ever goes out, he dies. Stop and feel that for a second. You are 11 years old. You are being handed a creature whose heartbeat is on fire, on the outside of his body, visible, fragile. The game just told you, very quietly, that this little Pokémon could die. Not faint, die. And then it handed you the responsibility. That's not a starter Pokémon. That's a covenant. Because the game also told you something else, in the language only kids understand. It told you he would grow up. Level 16, Charmeleon. Bigger, meaner, horn on the back of his head, the cute is gone, the fire is louder. Level 36, Charizard. He has wings now. He breathes fire. He's roughly the size of a small building. And here's the detail that mattered to every kid on every playground in 1998. He looks like a dragon. He isn't one. Charizard is officially a fire and flying type, not a fire dragon type. The game's own type chart never gave him the dragon label. But he looks like a dragon. He acts like a dragon. He breathes fire like a dragon. To a child, the technicality doesn't exist. You raised a lizard. You ended up with a dragon. That arc, that little salamander turning into a fire-breathing beast, is the oldest story humans tell themselves. It's the ugly duckling. It's the boy who pulls the sword from the stone. It's the runt that becomes the king. Nintendo built it into a starter Pokémon, and then sold it to you for $40. But here's what's strange. In a single playthrough of Pokémon Red or Blue, you only ever keep 1 starter. The other 2 are gone. Locked away. The only way to get them is to find a friend, with their own Game Boy, and their own copy of the game, and a special cable called a link cable, and to trade. So your starter isn't just your first Pokémon. It's a confession. It's the version of yourself you chose to be in front of every other kid in your class. The Bulbasaur kids were the careful ones, the strategists. The Squirtle kids were the friendly ones. The Charmander kids picked the hard mode. They picked the one that looked the coolest, struggled the longest, and grew into the biggest payoff. That's not a Pokémon choice. That's a personality test. And then September 28, 1998 happened. Pokémon Red and Blue launched in North America, and the orange lizard crossed the ocean. Within months, every American playground had the same conversation. Who'd you pick? And the answer was overwhelmingly the same. Charmander, Charmander, Charmander. But the story doesn't end on the Game Boy, because there was a trading card game too. And in that card game, there was one card that every kid on Earth wanted to pull from a booster pack. The base set holographic Charizard. Not Mewtwo, not Mew, Charizard. The same little orange lizard you raised on a green screen, now printed on cardboard, shimmering in the light, worth more than your bike. Today, in good condition, those cards sell for thousands, some for tens of thousands. A piece of cardboard with a fire-breathing reptile on it became one of the most valuable trading cards ever printed, because it wasn't a card. It was the trophy. It was proof that the runt you picked, the one who couldn't beat the first gym, the one whose heartbeat was on fire, made it. And here's the thesis. The thing I think we miss when we talk about why everyone chose Charmander first. We didn't pick him because he was the strongest. He wasn't. We didn't pick him because he was the easiest. He was the hardest. We didn't even really pick him because he was the coolest, though he was. We picked him because the game made us responsible for his life. Visibly, literally, a flame on a tail that could go out. And then, slowly, over 36 levels and 100 battles, that fragile little creature became something enormous. Something that was ours. Pokémon didn't just sell us a video game. It sold us our first taste of being responsible for something that could grow, and it disguised it as a lizard. You're 11 years old. You're sitting on the carpet. The Game Boy is warm in your hands. The screen is green and dim, and your eyes are starting to hurt. Professor Oak asks you to choose, and your thumb drifts to the one on the right, the little orange one, with the flame on its tail. You don't know it yet, but you just promised to keep something alive.